show, Lemonade with the Seth brothers. This is your host Kunal, and over here in the studio, I have Elizabeth Sensini. Elizabeth, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing lemonific.
You lemonific. I like that. Say it one more time.
Lemonific.
So Elizabeth, we were talking during one of the breaks, and you said you want to highlight three things for the audience today, both on radio and Facebook Live: worthiness, gratitude, and appreciation. Over the life, as you've become a Houstonian now, but over the years, you learned how to embrace challenges. And you grew up in a household where your family actually lived in a motel. Yeah. And you got exposure dealing with people who were short-term in the motel, learning about the habits, learning about the likes and dislikes, being the owner of the motel. Right. But over the years, you evolved. Now you have a young family. You live in Houston. Walk us through your journey, Elizabeth.
Wow. So, I am from Harlingen as well. Woo! Go Cardinals!
Let's go!
But I just want to say I am from Harlingen. That is the south of Texas, right close to Mexico. And one of the things I do want to say is growing up in that area, it is, if you do not know, statistically the poorest area of the country. Like we literally have to because there's just so many different things going on there. But my mom and dad, we were from Houston. My dad was actually working in the police academy here in Houston, and he got the opportunity to buy.
Did your dad beat up all your boyfriends? He did, right?
I think he did. He was definitely the one knocking on the door, banging it, and yeah, he was definitely the scary one.
All right.
So my dad, he had this desire to go back to Harlingen to be close to his family because that's where his family's from. So he bought a motel, and he decided that that's where he was going to raise his family. And me at 5 years old, like Ed, I didn't know any English. I hardly spoke any English. I didn't really know anything about the language.
You used to speak Spanish?
Yes, so okay. I used to speak Spanish, and so I didn't really know a whole lot about the language, but I learned, right? And I learned through different things. I learned through my mom, who speaks a lot of Spanish. She's from Mexico. And I learned through babysitters. We had all kinds of nannies helping us, taking care of us when we were growing up, right? So one of the things I wanted to just bring back to you guys is that one of the big lessons I learned as a child is that I realized that people come and go. We are only here for such a short time, okay? So people, when we're here, I'm in the environment of a motel. I'm realizing that the people I'm running into, they're just here for a little bit, and you have to savor it. You have to enjoy it. You have to know how good it feels to be in that person's presence, because they may not be here forever. Mm-hmm. They may go one day, and you have to really just understand how important that is. And so as a young child, I would meet kids. Their families were traveling in and out, and I wanted to spend time with them. I wanted to play with them. I wanted to get to know them. But then they would leave, right? And they were gone, and I would never see them again. So I had to understand that as a very young person. And I almost feel like it helps me now with real estate. Because, you meet these people, you're helping them on their journey, and you're part of it. You are actually in it. You're getting to know who they are, their story, what they're about, what happened. And then guess what? You are just, you don't understand how important you are to them. So I got to learn that early. Then later on during life, I am an artist.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
what do you do?
I paint.
You paint? We're going to make you sing tonight otherwise.
If you want to go see my paintings, I have actually my paintings in an art gallery in Pearland right now. So I welcome you to go look at it. And I painted about love. I painted about the romance, the love, the feeling, what you felt when you were in it. Because it's so important to us as humans to understand that the feeling, and it almost escalated as to a desire. So I was married for 11 years, okay, and I have 2 girls. Okay. Well, happily married, I was doing fine, and all of a sudden, boom, he tells me he wants to get divorced, right? So So here I am thinking, how could things have gone wrong? What did I do? What happened? How did this not work out? And it really starts to make you question yourself. And as a woman, I almost want to empower other women, because we as women, we are so nurturing, we're so loving, we give, we know what to do to help the situation. And then when we realize that the power is not there anymore within us, what do we do next? What do we do? So when that happened, I really felt like my world collided. And that was my lemon. Because first was worthiness. I had to find out that I was worthy of something better. And I remember one night that I was laying there in the bed and I was looking up at the ceiling and I said to myself, there has to be something better. There has to be something else. This cannot be just all of it. This cannot be where I'm going to go. And so I prayed and I asked, for God, the universe, a higher power to decide what was going to happen with me. So as I was praying, I didn't realize at that moment that something was actually going to manifest.
Wow.
I didn't understand it. But if I could look back at that moment and I could look back at that, honestly, I would have not understood it. I wouldn't have understood all the things that I was going to go through after that to bring me to where I am today. Okay? So at that moment when that was happening, I realized, yes, I did deserve more. Because, well, I was married to someone who was a workaholic and he worked a lot and he was a good person, but he just didn't have the time and the commitment to the family, right? So then later on, what ended up happening was I ended up meeting someone else. During the divorce process, I met someone new. That person, okay, I ended up falling in love. I was happy. Everything was going good. And then boom, one day, things fall apart again. My second lemon.
Wow.
He passes away. He died.
Wow.
So I was mortified. I thought to myself, how could this happen again? Why was I put in this
And that was recently,
position?
Elizabeth, right? About 3 years back, 4 years back?
That was in 2017.
17, yeah.
Yes.
Recently.
So I was thinking to myself, why would God do this to me? Why? This is so hurtful. Why would this happen? But I am telling you this story right now because we're approaching two very big holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I know from my heart that there's people out there right now suffering and hurting, right? Because we could all be in that situation where we're really hurting and we're looking at the pictures of family and friends and we're thinking, why couldn't that be me? Why? Right? So to the person listening to the radio tonight, I just want you to know that I've been in your shoes. I have felt that desire. I have felt like there's no way this could be happening to me. And I want you to understand that, I'm truly your friend. I want to listen to you. If you ever want to reach out to me, please feel free. Okay? Because that changed my whole life after that. It opened me up. It made me realize more. And that's the gratitude that I was talking about, the second lemon. I realized that, yes, people come and go. It's a short time. But there's a gratitude towards that. You have to appreciate that there may not be here for a long time, like I said in the beginning with the motel story. But you have to understand the gratitude. What did they bring to you in your life at that short period of time, right? And how did they change you? How did they make you a better person? How did you make them a better person? Vice versa. So, after all this came down, I am happy to say my third lemon is appreciation, because I learned to appreciate so much after that. And now I want to say I'm happily engaged.
Engaged, yes.
Yes.
That happened a few months back.
Yes. And I'm no longer looking back at that as a thing that happened to me. I'm looking at it as a thing that happened for me. Okay?
Not happened to you, but happened for you to make you a better person.
Yes.
I love that. Love that.
Yes. So we have to understand that things don't happen to us. You may be missing, and I'm telling you this right now, and I hope I can reach someone, because it does hurt. It hurts to lose someone. But I'm not telling you this because I want you to look back and think, oh, all the moments we missed, and this could have been that. No, I want you to look at this and understand this happened for you. This is going to change your life. You're going to be so healed. You're going to be a better person for it. You're going to, and if I would have known back then, Kunal, if I would have known back then that I would be with the person I love, and by the way, if the person I love is listening, I just want to tell you I love you. Thank you.
What's his name?
Nathan.
Nathan. Well, Nathan, you found someone for yourself.
So I just want you to know, like, if you are out there suffering, you don't have to suffer anymore. Because if I would have known that little inch of that, I would have felt so much better going through it. But you do have to go through it. It's a lesson that you have to learn. And it's something that will bring you peace and success later. Because once you achieve that, you can do anything. You don't have to be scared. You don't have to fear anything. Fear is gone. So...
Love it. No better time to share the message than a few days before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And about a month away from Christmas Eve. What you're sharing is lemons thrown at you, diversity, all the challenges. You know, first you had a separation, your first marriage. Then the second person you want to get married, he passes away.
Yeah.
And now you suffer in your mind for all these years, but then you say, it did not happen to me, it happened for me.
Yes.
And that's when you met Nathan. Yes. And now share with us your journey. You are a businesswoman, entrepreneur, and you are an artist, which I found out today.
Oh.
You have your art gallery, and you're also a realtor.
Yes, and that's another thing about being an artist. This is what I love about being an artist, is that you're creative. You're not actually, so when you're making art, okay, you're not saying, oh, I'm going to do this and that. You're just following. You're following the spirit of who you are, and you're just designing it. And that's how we have to look at life. We can't just like say, oh, we're going to do this. Yeah, it's okay to do that. But we have to realize that we're kind of the spirit, just kind of going with the flow. And you have to do that. You have to, when you're living this life, you have to just go with the flow. Even when it doesn't feel good. Even when things aren't going right. It's okay. You're going to learn that at the end, you're going to have this beautiful masterpiece.
Love it. Would you mind sharing with us, in your mind, you must have your next artwork visualized? Yes?
Yes.
Would you mind sharing with us? What is it going to be about?
Oh, well, I always paint about love because I feel like love is the highest power. So I will definitely paint something in relation to love. And I think it's good. It's good to feel. The whole point of art is to feel it, not to understand it, not to know it, not to know. You just have to go in front of it and feel it. It's the most beautiful thing you can ever do, is just feel. And that's the whole point of life. We're here to feel it. We're here to enjoy it.
And someone wants to see your artwork. You said it's a gallery in Pearland that actually has your artwork. Would you mind sharing the name and the address of the gallery?
So the gallery is in the town center of Pearland. And I'm actually...
On 518?
So Pearland Town Center is... I know everyone knows where Pearland Town Center is, but it's right next to the American Cookie.
Okay.
American Cookie. If you can't find it, it's right there. You can just walk in and browse. But look, I'm not here to sell art. I'm really honestly just here to share my story, because I want you guys to understand that you are loved. You have so much ahead of you. Don't look at the hurt, because you know there has been a lot of families that have lost loved ones due to COVID and tragedy and all this stuff. And you know what? please don't feel like this is the end. This is the all. No. Get out of that. Get out of that way of thinking, because there's so much more that you have to discover, and it's there, and you just have to keep going and going. And I know a lot of people think, well, how am I going to do that? This is how you do it. One day at a time. You look for one thing that makes you feel good. You focus on that one thing. It could be meditation. It could be sleeping more. It could be going out a little bit with friends. It could be whatever you want it to be. But make it that one thing that makes you go and want to do it again the next day. Because that will take you to a different level. And I'm telling you guys, please, like, if you need a friend, I'm here. I'm here to talk to you.
So anyone listening to the show tonight who is not in the right mindset, is unhappy, depressed, or is not in the positive mindset as they should be, and they want to reach out to you, would you mind sharing an email address, a phone number?
You can.
Do you mind sharing that?
Oh, I don't mind at all. I'd be more than happy to. And you know what? I've had, going back to real estate a little bit, I've had women call me that they're getting divorced and they don't know what to do, and they don't even know how to buy a house. They say, Elizabeth, I've depended on this man for this many years. I don't know what to do now. And they just want someone to talk to. I'm here. So if you're going through a hard time, you don't know what's gonna happen next, but you need guidance, I'm here. I'm your friend. And my number is 832-671-3826. That's my number. You can always reach me there. And of course, you can reach the Seth Brothers website to get more information about me, right?
It's at 832-671?
3826.
3826. Elizabeth, you shared with us growing up, living in a motel, day in, day out, guests coming in with family and kids. You engage with them, you like those kids, big friends with them, and next year they're gone.
Yes.
They're just gone. That allowed you to adapt, learn very quickly. But as an adult, you got married, had some setback, then you fell in love again. That person passed away. But you kept your passion to expressing your love in art.
Yes.
When did you start painting, Elizabeth?
Oh my God. I always painted. I was always painting since I was little. Like maybe I want to say 5 or 6 years old. I was always doing this.
Wow.
And it was a good distraction, because there's a lot going on in the world that you're not completely maybe happy with, and it helps distract you. It helps keep you focused on something else. And the whole main thing about this, if you want to be successful, try to keep those distractions out of the way and stay focused.
Love it, Elizabeth. If you want to call Elizabeth, get some support from her, get some positive enforcement from her, call her 832-671-3826. Elizabeth, it was amazing hearing about your lemons in your life, how you made lemonade out of them. And you shared with us a key tagline: it does not happen to you, it happens for you. I love that. Yes. Elizabeth, so amazing having you on the show today. You're listening into Lemonade with the Seth Brothers. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be live in action with the next guest. Stay tuned with Lemonade with the Seth Brothers.